Hello, this is D, and I'm back with another video, and today we are finally going to finish the story. Now, Microsoft has completed its Activision Blizzard acquisition. Call of Duty is coming to Xbox. Now, this has been quite the battle. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you guys. Now, this started around almost 2 years ago now, and at first, we pretty much thought it would be a done deal. We didn't think there was going to be so much opposition, but we started to get a few stumbling blocks, and then the FTC reared its ugly head, and they actually opposed the deal going through in the United States. Then after we had some other regions that went through, the EU went through, we thought that the UK was going to go through, and we knew that the FTC really didn't have that much power, and at that time they didn't file for a preliminary injunction, so we were thinking the deal was going to go through. Then all of a sudden the CMA and the FTC were on the same page, and then we had this whole ordeal that's been going on for at least the last 12 months. Now today, finally, we can say that this deal is done. It is over. It is finalized. Now, this deal can't be stopped. That's it. It's over. It's done. So for all the detractors out there that thought that Microsoft would not get this through, today is your day to eat some crow. And for all of the Xbox fans that were waiting for this to be finalized and can't wait to play Call of Duty in Game Pass, today is your day to rejoice. Now, I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm just really happy that this whole ordeal is over. Although I did like covering the story, it kind of got long in the tooth, and I gotta say, I'm finally happy to report that this deal is done. Now, even as early as a few days ago, we saw that the FTC had filed a new submission. Shout out to PostUp for posting this. Now, as you can see here, they actually want to see why Ubisoft made the deal. Why did Sony make the deal? They want a bunch of financial records, and I don't understand the point of it. The deal is done. Now, they want to bring this in front of their own in-house court. Like, what a joke. They tried to use their in-house court rulings in a court of law, and it was hilarious to see them do this. Now, the judge kind of blasted them. They did not have evidence that proved their theories. The evidence was the opposite. It actually proved Microsoft's case that more gamers would have access to these games. They went in front of Congress, and Congress said the same thing. And they said, why did you waste taxpayers' dollars? And yet again, we have them trying to go after Microsoft. Now, I want to reiterate that there's nothing that they can do to stop this deal. The deal is finalized. That's it. It's over. Their in-house court hearing, it doesn't mean anything. And this truly is a waste of taxpayers' dollars. And I'm just not going to address it anymore in today's video. Now, let's go over to theverge.com. Like usual, I'll leave a link in the description down below so you guys can check it out for yourself. And they're reporting that Microsoft has finalized its $68.7 billion deal to acquire Activision Blizzard, the publisher of Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and Diablo. Now, The Verge exclusively reported last week that Microsoft was planning to close today, and now it's official. The acquisition required 20 months of battles with regulators in the UK and the US, but Microsoft has closed its Activision Blizzard deal after defeating the Federal Trade Commission in US federal court and restructuring the deal to appease the Competition and Markets Authority in the UK. Now that the deal's over, I gotta say the CMA, they really got under my skin. Their arguments made no sense. And when you really think about it, there is no cloud providers. There's no like clear-cut winner. There's no monopoly on it. And by Ubisoft getting the rights to all of these games, it kind of actually makes them a monopoly because they're going to be handling all of the licensing. And it just makes no sense. It's like a case of the CMA just wanting to prove their worth. And I gotta be honest with you, I think when this is all said and done, I think the CMA is going to be restructured. And I think that the FTC should be restructured. Definitely. Now, I don't know too much about the UK politics, so I'll kind of leave the CMA stuff alone. But the FTC, Lena Khan, is so incompetent. Not only is she going back after Microsoft, trying to dig up whatever they can dig up, she's also going against Amazon. So they have their hands full. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to cut to a spoiler. Nothing is going to come out of this. Nothing is going to happen. The only thing that the FTC is going to accomplish is wasting the taxpayers' dollars. Now, the article goes on to say, we love gaming, we play games, we create games, and know firsthand how much gaming means to all of us individuals and collectively as a community. And today, officially, we welcome Activision Blizzard and their teams to Xbox, said Xbox chief Phil Spencer. As one team, we'll learn, innovate, and continue to deliver our promise to bring the joy to the community of gaming to more people. We do this in a culture that strives to empower everyone to do their best work, where all the people are welcome and the center of our ongoing commitment for gaming for everyone. Of gaming for everyone. Now, the deal is Microsoft's largest acquisition ever, far in excess of the $26 billion Microsoft paid to acquire LinkedIn in 2016, and the $7.5 billion Microsoft paid to acquire Bethesda in 2021. This is Microsoft's biggest ever push into gaming too, and the company said in the original announcement of this mega deal that it will now be the third largest gaming company by revenue, behind Tencent and Sony. So this is a huge deal. They're going to get the Blizzard games. Call of Duty is now going to be the home of Xbox. That is crazy. This game is going to come to Game Pass. Now, they made an announcement on this, and they said that as early as 2024, they're going to start bringing these games over to Game Pass. Now, to be honest with you guys, I think from now to the holidays, we're going to get a couple surprise additions to Game Pass. But for like Call of Duty, and I would say at least the latest one, I wouldn't expect that to be on the platform until 2024. Nonetheless, Microsoft, Xbox is the home of Activision. They now own these studios. And I'm so excited because the information can be shared with other studios. They can create new shooters. They can help other studios create shooters. They can collaborate and make a game together. The possibilities are endless. And I've said this time and time again. Once Microsoft gets this well-oiled machine running, it is going to pump out games. And the competition is going to feel it. Right now, Sony is the top of the food chain. They have the best exclusives. They have the most exclusives, but that is about to change. And let's just be honest here. Sony does their exclusives well, but they do them a certain way. The Xbox first-party studios is going to add that and more with lots of variety. Most of our favorite games are now owned by Microsoft. These are all first-party Xbox studios now. I have to reiterate how huge this is. Microsoft, Xbox, they own these franchises. And I'm going to do another video on another day because today, honestly, I'm just so excited that this deal is finalized and I can finish the story, that we can wrap this up. But there's a lot of games that are going to be coming to Xbox. They have a lot of studios. And like I said, once this is up and running, they're going to be cranking out games continuously. And Sony and the competitors, they need to be worried about this. This will be a problem. Now, will it be a problem next year? I don't think so. I think this is going to start to roll in 2025, 2026, perhaps the beginning of the next generation. We're really going to see it in full force. But I do believe that next year, we're going to start to see the benefits of Microsoft owning all of these studios and the quality of games. We have to hold them to a high standard, that these games are quality, that they don't come out with a lot of bugs, that they don't come out with 30 FPS modes when they can run at 60 FPS, like Redfall. Redfall recently got an update to 60 FPS on the Xbox Series X. And you know what? Most people don't care, because they launched it in such a state that nobody even wants to go back and play that game. So you have to do things the right way the first time out the gate. And I hope Microsoft has learned from some of these past mistakes. Now, they also have some opportunities to reboot some iconic franchises like Crash Bandicoot, like Spyro the Dragon, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. It now belongs to Microsoft, so they can relaunch this franchise. Xbox is now also home to Overwatch. There's so many games here. There's so many opportunities here. Microsoft has a real chance at becoming the #1 gaming company. Some of these games are not going to be exclusive. Some of these games will be multi-plats. such as Call of Duty. There was a big fight over Call of Duty. It doesn't make sense to remove Call of Duty from other platforms. It makes too much money. But when it's in your Game Pass service, that is an incentive for people to subscribe to your service. And then once they're inside of your subscription service and they see all the games that you offer, then they stay committed to that service. Just like we all stay committed to Netflix or to Disney Plus. If they have good content, we stay there. And that's what Microsoft is aiming to do with their Game Pass service. That's why they're going out and acquiring all of these companies so that they have a steady flow of games in their Game Pass service. And now with Activision Blizzard Games now being a part of Microsoft first-party studios, they will achieve this. They also do deals with third parties to bring the games into their Game Pass service. I truly believe that Game Pass is going to grow tremendously. I think by the end of the year, we're going to see that their numbers jumped up. We're going to see a huge spike in Game Pass numbers. Now, if that doesn't come true, you can hold me to it and, leave a nasty comment in the section down below like you trolls like to do. But unfortunately for you guys, I don't think that's going to be the case. Microsoft's Game Pass service is going to grow with this acquisition. Once they start to put those Call of Duty games in that service, it's going to grow. And don't forget that this is also available on PC via Game Pass Ultimate. And PC gamers are definitely going to appreciate these games being in that service. And I think in the next 2 years, you're going to see that they have maybe 50 million subscribers on their Game Pass service. Now, I know Phil Spencer had some numbers up there, and I'm just throwing those numbers out there because that's just what I think at this moment in time. I think that within the next 2 years, they can have up to 50 million subscribers in their Game Pass service. And remember, that is monthly. People think, oh, these games, it's in the Game Pass service, so you're paying $10 for the game. These customers, or I should say subscribers, stay in the subscription service, so they get a year membership. And I have a Game Pass subscription for 3 years. And when it expires, you better believe that I'm going to re-up. And most people that play Game Pass, that is their sentiment as well. You also have EA Play in Game Pass. And like I mentioned earlier, third-party games. And now we're going to have Call of Duty. We're going to have Diablo. We're going to have Overwatch. The next Fallout's going to be on Xbox day and date in your Game Pass service. The next Crash Bandicoot will be day and date in your service. All of the new IPs that Activision is planning to bring will be in Game Pass day and date. So I can't reiterate enough how much of a big deal this is and what a boost this will be to their Game Pass service. And remember, all these games are also going to be available in the cloud. And the cloud over the next few years, it's going to progress. We're seeing that Sony is making good strides. I'm going to give them credit where it is due. They're actually doing 4K 60 streaming right now. We also know that Nvidia is doing 4K 60 streaming. Microsoft is doing 1080p 60, and I expect over the next few years as they iron out the kinks that resolution will also increase, making cloud gaming a viable solution for the casuals. I don't think the hardcore gamers are going to switch to cloud gaming anytime soon. For me, at least personally, I'm always going to want to have a physical system. However, it is a nice addition. If I'm outside the home or if someone is occupying one of my televisions, I can play on the cloud for a little bit. And the latency is pretty good. Now, I don't want to play a competitive first-person shooter online on the cloud, but an action game, a quick puzzle game, a sports game, I don't mind playing it via the cloud. Now, that's neither here nor there because today we're just celebrating that Microsoft has finalized its Activision Blizzard King acquisition. It is over. The haters, I know they're going to be up. The FTC right now, I know is big. And I got to think Sony is also not happy about this because they put up quite a fight. So it wasn't a win for Sony. This is definitely a big win for Microsoft. This is a big win for Xbox gamers. This is a big win for all of us that just wanted to finish the story. We finally can say that it's done. The FTC, they can do whatever they want to do at this point. It doesn't matter. The deal is finalized and they cannot stop it. They can only continue to waste the taxpayers' dollars. And for you residents out there, I would complain about this because it is truly a waste of time. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think about all of this. What are your thoughts on these Activision Blizzard King games, these studios coming to Microsoft, coming to Xbox, coming to Game Pass? What are your thoughts on Call of Duty coming to Game Pass this year? Do you think it'll be this year or next year? What about Diablo? Do you think Diablo might get a surprise drop on Game Pass next month or before Christmas? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And like I usually say, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.